Another entrepreneur yesterday, they said, talked about failure. I said, listen, if you can't face failure, then you're not an entrepreneur. I said, every entrepreneurial journey will have mistakes. Don't think that because you see me today, you think everything has been a smooth sail. No. I think I've learned much more from mistakes than from successes. Right? In fact, even when you have a success, it is not to be taken for granted. But when you had a failure, you have to learn from that failure and make sure it doesn't happen again.
True. At what point you stopped feeling rejected in the beginning of your career and started feeling grateful? Because thank God, because of those failures, you started Biocon.
I've had many failures along the way. I'm not saying I'm grateful for failures because nobody likes failures, but I've learned from my failures. And I've had many failures. Even this whole thing of assuming that my acquisition will be well rewarded and well accepted, it was completely different, right? And that for me was a failure to even anticipate that this is how they would take to my acquisition. So I've learned from that, saying, okay, this is the way I have to deal with markets and investors. That I can't just constantly say, why have they been so unfair? Why have they been so fickle? Why are they, looking at it in this way? But I have to understand how they perceive this business, right? And I cannot just sort of fault them because I have to explain it better.